What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and everything going on here. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In this video, we'll be talking about millions of people that will be receiving checks or money up to $1,000 or even $1,200 in this video. I'll be going over the list of the people and how to claim this and how much it will be. It's over 1 million people. It's a lot of different people here. And we'll be talking about the significant updates, what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, and the US, and how we're involved with this, and how this could be raising inflation and gas prices here in the US as well. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So let's jump right in. Also, thank you so much for hitting the like button for us down below. You guys are amazing. Here we go. All right, remember there was a lot of speculation that today might be the day that Russia could attack based on some intelligence. Even Ukraine's president had previously said this. Well, there's some interesting updates already here. Check out what President Biden here said yesterday and what Russia's kind of up to. And something doesn't seem right about this. So Russia has done kind of a little bit of a pullback of some troops, but seems kind of like a scam. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. Check this out.
The United States has put on the table concrete ideas to establish a security environment in Europe. We're proposing new arms control measures, new transparency measures, new strategic stability measures. These measures would apply to all parties, NATO and Russia alike. We're willing to make practical, result-oriented steps that can advance our common security. We will not sacrifice basic principles, though. Nations have a right to sovereignty and territorial integrity. They have the freedom to set their own course and choose with whom they will associate. But that still leaves plenty of room for diplomacy and for de-escalation. That's the best way forward for all parties, in our view. We'll continue our diplomatic efforts in close consultation with our allies and our partners. As long as there is hope of diplomatic resolution that prevents the use of force and avoids incredible human suffering that would follow, we will pursue it. The Russian defense minister reported today that some military units are leaving their positions near Ukraine. That would be good, but we have not yet verified that. We have not yet verified the Russian military units are returning to their home bases. Indeed, our analysts indicate that they remain very much in a threatening position. And the fact remains, right now, Russia has more than 150,000 troops encircling Ukraine and Belarus and along Ukraine's border. An invasion remains distinctly possible. That's why I've asked several times that all Americans in Ukraine leave now before it's too late to leave safely.
Yeah, so Russia says some troops are pulling back from the Ukraine border, but it seems very, very skeptical. A lot of people are very skeptical of this. Here's another major reason why here. Yesterday, there were major cyber attacks on the Ukrainian army and the Ukrainian major banks. And who would do the cyber attacks, right? On Ukraine. I mean, let's put two and two together here, right? Who else would attack Ukraine with cyber attacks and knock out their army websites, their army database, their cybersecurity, and their banks, if not Russia? And yet Russia says they're pulling back. I mean, does that make any sense to you? Yeah, you can see here a series of cyber attacks yesterday knocked out the websites and, all sorts of databases and security systems and everything on the Ukrainian army, the defense ministry, and major banks and sent them offline, Ukrainian authorities said, as tensions persisted over the threat of a possible Russian invasion. At least 10 Ukrainian websites were unreachable due to the attacks, including the Defense, Foreign, and Culture Ministries and Ukrainian's two largest state banks. In such attacks, websites are barraged with a flood of junk data packets, rendering them unreachable. Quote, we don't have any information of other disruptive actions that could be hidden by this DDoS attack, said a top Ukrainian cyber defense official. He said emergency response team were working to cut off the attackers and recover services. Meanwhile, the U.S. says that the United States and its allies are prepared to respond to Russian cyber attacks amid escalating tensions over Ukraine, with the scope of retaliatory actions and sanctions depending on the severity of these hacks, and U.S. and European officials said yesterday. President Biden, speaking hours after Ukraine reported its defense ministry and two banks had been hacked, told reporters that Washington was coordinating closely with NATO allies and other partners to expand defenses against threats in cyberspace. Quote, the president has said we will respond to Russian actions short of a military invasion. But what is decided depends on the extent of the cyber attacks. There are so many ranges, it's hard to go into specifics. The official said it's part of their playbook, underscoring Western resolve to use concerted action to hold Moscow accountable for cyber attacks and other, quote, misbehavior. So I don't know. You tell me. Does it seem like Russia's pulling back? They've added almost 50,000 troops close to the border here just within the last few days. They've gone from around 100,000 troops to 150,000 troops. And then all of a sudden yesterday, they say, oh yeah, we're pulling some troops back as these cyber attacks come into Ukraine. Yeah, seems like a smokescreen to me. But you can let me know your thoughts. Of course, everybody has a different opinion about this. Meanwhile, there's a lot of talk and analysis that this Russia-Ukraine conflict could cause inflation in the U.S. to hit 10%. That's right, here in the U.S. Biden warns energy prices could be impacted if Russia invades Ukraine. And get this, Russia is the world's second largest producer of both oil and natural gas and global oil supplies. Yeah, that's right. And just yesterday, the price of the barrel of oil just spiked over $95 for a price of barrel, for the price of barrel of oil. Because of this conflict, the price of oil is spiking worldwide. Yeah, so the price of gas is going up here because of what is going on in Russia and Ukraine. And experts are saying that the price of gas could go up even higher. Check this out.
Next guest says oil prices will remain high and could still spike to $120 a barrel. He also dares to say that we are in an energy regression and not an energy transition. Let's bring in Paul Sankey. He's the lead analyst at Sankey Research, of course. Paul, welcome.
Hi, Kelly. How are you? I have to say, a couple of times ago, I was on and one of your viewers complained about my appearance. So he asked me in future to wear a jacket and tie. So
I appreciate that you treat them with the respect that they deserve. Paul, there's so much I want to talk about in the energy transition piece. But before we get to that, let's just talk more near term. 120 a barrel, is that only if there's an invasion? And if there's not, then where are we landing?
No, the 80 to 120, what we were saying is that the oil price is getting squeezed into a higher range, which is 80 to 120, with 120 being the point of demand destruction. As you know, the oil price is very high in certain countries with weaker currencies, let's say Turkey or Brazil or India. So it is a concern even at current levels. But American demand, as you know, is very strong. And so we're not seeing the point of demand destruction even here. At over $90 a barrel. The 120 is the level we think you will get U.S. demand destruction.
As you probably know, Cities Ed Morse, who we spoke to about a week ago about oil prices, thinks we're going to be landing in the 60s by the end of this year because he basically thinks more supply is going to be coming online. Is that a likely scenario that people should consider and take seriously?
Well, Ed obviously has tremendous experience, and as a voice, I think he loves to be contrarian as well. So it's a contrarian view, and I think we're glad he's out there because it's very worrying when everyone's bullish. It'll be interesting to see. We've got big results coming up. We've just had Continental, a major US E&P, down 8% today on higher spending.
Wow.
We've got Devon tonight reporting, and we're going into a week here of very significant earnings reports. Pioneer tomorrow, some of the real signature names in US E&P. If we get strong discipline from these guys, I think you're going to find that the market's tight on an ongoing basis, and we don't get a huge surge in supply in the second half. And this is all X any potential invasion by Russia.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here. This whole Russia-Ukraine situation has a lot of ties here with the U.S., not only because we're part of NATO and the whole war situation, but also inflation, Russia being the second largest producer of gas, that whole issue, and so many different things here. And if they actually invade, which I don't know, to me personally, it seems very likely. Why would they have 150,000 troops and more moving there by the day? Now, cyber attacks to their defense systems and banks. It just doesn't seem like they're doing all that just for fun. The question would be, if this does happen, where does that put the U.S., right? It just doesn't seem like it puts us in a good position at all. And then the stock market is going to be in a lot of turmoil as well. Remember that 50% or more of U.S. Americans have money in the stock market with 401ks, pensions, or just regular money in the market as well. Probably see a lot of turmoil there as well, but could be a good buying opportunity as well. You can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But gas prices are rising. A lot of people are struggling. We have $800 billion of stimulus money just sitting there waiting for the administration to send out to people in need. Yeah, we got a lot here going on. And don't forget, we have a government shutdown going to happen here in T-minus 2 days on Friday. If the Senate can't come to an agreement. Yeah, I know. You can't make this stuff up. The Senate has to actually pass a bill on Friday. The House has already done it, and the Senate is, well, Congress waiting until the last minute. They need to come to an agreement because right now they don't have an agreement. If they had an agreement, they would have already passed it, and they're scrambling to actually try to get that done. All right, now let's talk about these $1,000 to $1,200, I should say up to $1,000 and $1,200 checks, because there's going to be multiple different ones here. A few days ago, if you've been watching my channel, I kind of almost on a daily basis, I have all sorts of different checks, money, stimulus money, all sorts of rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance. Literally on a daily basis, I'm just kind of uncovering different types of money that people can get here, stimulus money, or different types of money here. One of the videos was about a $1,200 child tax credit that Vermont is trying to pass here. Okay, I covered that here in a recent video. But in part of my research here, I actually found out that there's multiple other states that have their own child tax credit payments as well. Now, note here that this is not the federal child tax credit payment. This is a state child tax credit payment in addition to the federal child tax credits. Okay, so remember that last year there was the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits, $3,000 for children over the age of 6, and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. Remember, there was those monthly payments, $250 per month and $300 per month, and then the other half of it you're going to get on your tax returns. You do have to file a tax return to get that other half of the money. Okay. Right now, those monthly payments have stopped because Congress has not been able to pass it as of yet. If they're not able to pass it, we'll have to see what will happen. It'll likely go back down to the $2,000, a lower amount, $1,000 to $1,600 lower. And there could be millions of people that are left out because remember, the old child tax credit payments that was passed underneath former President Donald Trump in the 2017 Trump tax cuts does not have as many people that qualify for it. There's millions of people that are left out of it. Okay, but nonetheless, we'll go over that in some other videos. There are multiple different states that have additional child tax credits that offer additional money on the state benefits in addition. Okay, check this out. So number one, Vermont, $1,200 child tax credit. The Vermont House of Representatives, the State House of Representatives, has passed it, and it now has gone to the Senate, the House Senate of Vermont, to try to pass it. Meanwhile, as you can see here, Child Tax Credit 2022 update, surprise $1,200 check for Vermont may be coming, but extra $1,000 cash boost available in 8 states. So yeah, that's a surprise $1,200 for Vermonters if they can pass that in the Senate. But there's also 8 additional states that also have state child tax credit payments. Here they are. Okay, number one, California. Californians who have a low income and may qualify for the California Earned Income Tax Credit, Cal EITC. If you do and you have a child under the age of 6, you may also be eligible for the Young Child Tax Credit. Up to $1,000 each is available to families with earnings under $25,000, while those with income of up to $30,000 get a reduced credit. You may need to talk to a tax professional to file some of this stuff as well. Keep that in mind. I also did a recent video where you can Google IRS tax-free help, and you can find a website on just from Google where you can get free tax help from the IRS. They have a free service where they'll hook you up with somebody who can help you for free. Number 2, Colorado is rolling out a new child tax credit this year that is similar to the federal support. How much you can get depends on income and filing status, but the credits are fully refundable, which means you can get a check sent to you in the mail even if you don't owe the IRS any money. It will be available for Colorado residents to claim on their 2022 Colorado income tax return when they file beginning in January 2023. This will be available to individuals with incomes of $75,000 or less, $85,000 for married taxpayers filing jointly who have children below 6 as of December 31st, 2022, according to the Department of Revenue. You can get between 5% and 30% of the federal child tax credit for each child. How much that is, I don't know, you'd have to do the math. In Idaho, families can get a $205 child tax credit per child. It's non-refundable, meaning it'll reduce the amount of tax you owe, but you can't get it as a check if you don't owe any tax. The credit was originally worth just $130 per child, but it was expanded immediately after its enactment into 2018. Illinois. Households in Illinois with kids below 17 can get child tax credits worth $100 per child. The full credit is available to taxpayers with income below $40,000 or $60,000 for joint filers. For every $2,000 of income above the limits, the credits are reduced by $5. So you probably can go a decent amount higher than that. For Maine households can get $300 per qualifying child thanks to the dependent exemption tax credit. Eligibility criteria is generally the same as for the federal child tax credit. The amount you can get is reduced by $7.50 for every $1,000 of AGI above $400,000 for joint returns and for $200,000 in any other case. Maine residents, non-residents, and part-time residents can get the credits. It's interesting. In Maryland, residents with an adjusted gross income AGI of less than $6,000 can get $500 per child in state child tax credits. The credits are available to families with kids below the age of 17. There is no limit on the number of qualifying children for which the credit may be claimed. The state of New York, the Empire Child Tax Credit in New York offers support to families with kids above the age of 4, but below 17. You are entitled to this refundable credit if the following applies to you. You were a full year New York State resident or married to a full year resident, have a qualifying child, and you meet one of the following conditions. You have a federal child tax credit, additional child tax credit, or a credit for other dependents. You have a federal child tax credit. I would think most people would have that. Additional child tax credit or a credit for other dependents. Probably almost everybody has that. Unless you're over the income limits, would probably be the only reason you wouldn't have that, maybe. Your New York recomputed federal AGI is up to $110,000, up to $75,000, or $55,000 for these reasons. The Empire Child Tax Credit amount is the greater of 33% of the federal child tax credit, or $100 multiplied by the number of qualifying children. Yeah, do the math on that one. Oklahoma, last but not least, families in Oklahoma can get 5% of the federal CTC under the state's child tax credit program. The credits are non-refundable. To get it, the federal AGI can't exceed $100,000 for married couples filing jointly. So yeah, just another way that several different states are giving money back to their residents. Remember, this states have to literally pay millions of dollars out of their state general fund, or their state money to pay for this. So we want to continue to see more and more states give out money like this, give out stimulus money, or just give money back to their residents. As always, call, email, and tweet your state representatives and your federal representatives. I will keep you up to date with any type of stimulus programs that are being announced here on a daily basis. I research everything: child tax credits, programs for seniors, the federal stimulus programs, as well as everything going on here. Student loan forgiveness, SNAP programs, and everything, as well as daily news. So make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribing is completely free to do so and help us reach 400,000 subscribers. We're almost there. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And also you can click here to see how we talk about how the president can do an executive order for stimulus checks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.